This is it. We have finally made it. This is the last week of $3 parlay. I know that's the only exciting thing that's happening today, and everybody's very sad for this year to end, just with how great of a year this has been for $3 parlay. Michael, how you doing, man?
I've got a lot new going on. I am broadcasting live from $3 Parlay Studios Central in Paris, Tennessee.
Paris, France.
Yeah. We have a new branch for $3 Parlay, so I'm going to be operating out of it for the next year. Really, just excited and happy to at least just looking at my week. Happy to be back in the
Boy.
the big money.
Yeah, you're in the captain's seat right there. And I gotta ask before we get too far into this, Paris, Tennessee, is that the Champagne region of Paris?
Yes. Actually, that's where champagne was invented.
Wow,
Yes.
that's so cool.
The cheese is so stinky here.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the
that's
stinkiest
how
cheese.
people. Wow,
Yeah.
that's
The croissants are so flaky. The baguettes are so baguette.
spaghetti.
It's
That's good
spaghetti.
there, Michael. You don't know your different languages and your foods in different countries, but you sure know your picks because you've got about a $25 lead on me going into this last week. So this could be either just a breeze off into the sunset or a Falcons level disappointment right here. Go ahead and, man, just walk us through what you did this last week, which was pretty damn impressive.
So I was very happy with how my week went. Minus, I needed a Derrick Henry score, which would have seen not only my Titans Packers pick 5 over 56 hit, but also my parlay hit. A crazy game, to be honest. It was snowing. You would think that it would just be a ground and pound sort of game, but the Packers got up so fast that I don't entirely blame the Titans. They had to play a little bit more rush to try to get back into the game.
Yeah, I mean, Devontae Adams himself, I think Aaron Rodgers is washed up, and I can absolutely see why they drafted a quarterback now.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams is that team. That was a performance for sure.
And did you see he got his 99 in Madden today?
I did see that, and I know you did see that because I sent that to you.
That's correct. Yes, you did. But other than that, so looking at my Vikings versus Saints pick, that one was pretty close as well for the first 2 minutes of the game.
Yep.
Was never really in question. Easy. That was a good Christmas surprise for me. The next day, no, actually the day before, I believe I had Georgia Southern, LA Tech. That one hit. Liberty Coastal Carolina.
And what did we say? What did we say about Georgia Southern? They weren't going to be able to go on Bourbon Street, and those boys were going to be ready to play.
You're right.
They did.
And Liberty Coastal Carolina, now that was a crazy game. It was kind of overshadowed by the craziness of the Dolphins-Raiders ending. But I think there was also like 17 or 21 points scored in the final 5 minutes of that game. Easy over. I think it was at like 84 final. It did go into overtime. And missed on my bottom two, which kind of hurt. I won't even begin to talk about. I know I can see you like salivating at my Chargers minus 5.5 because I was so sure about it that the Broncos were a bad team. And I went on there and I said, it's not out now because we're doing a Tuesday recording and there aren't any alternate lines. But once an alternate line of 5.5 comes out, I'd like to take it. I did take it. Go ahead. I know you want to say it.
I know this is really bad podcasting, especially since we have a visual format. It would have been better if I could have prepped this, but I just want to read the conversation that happened leading up to this changing of pick. Michael Sirius sent me a text that said, "Can I change my Chargers pick to minus 5.5?" And I replied with, "At what odds?" And he said, "It's 120 odds. Biggest spread is still -3, which is crazy. So it hasn't changed since Tuesday." My response was sure, and you knew it was going to happen. You came back and said, "Can't wait for this to come back and bite me in the ass." And my response, which was just chef's kiss,
Oh
win by
man,
exactly 3.
yeah.
And what did they do? They
They
won by
final
exactly 3.
score 19-16.
If anything, you would have lost either way. And scared money don't make money. So you try to go big here. And if you're going to lose it, I'd rather lose it here at -5.5 rather than push when you still had a pretty productive week. So don't beat yourself up too bad about it.
I'm shooketh. I mean, because now let's go a little bit farther. That would have been $2 back onto my winnings, so I would have had a week of 938. And
Yeah.
again, going for 100, I'm now $17.50. That would have put
Right.
me. That would have put me closer. That would have put me at the 15 mark, which is attainable. Right now at the 17 mark, I think between the two of us, we've only gotten it twice. We've each gotten it once, and it was either an 80% or a
Yeah.
100% week. So, yeah, I mean,
A lot of underdog type picks and some.
I do. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to reach a little bit. I'm gonna have to reach.
Well,
But again, the good news is, like you said, I can kind of sit back. It's like NFL Week 17, which we'll touch on later when we do our picks. You take into consideration the starters; they might get pulled for the entire second half this week.
Yeah.
And how does that affect the betting? That's kind of how I feel right now. Is I can swing heavy for the fences without really having to worry about you catching me.
Yeah, well, that really hurts here, but at least I lead where it matters most, and that's on the tastiest picks of the week because that, ladies and gentlemen, is the only pick that I got right this week, and boy,
Yikes.
I wish I put more money on that. Hawaii money line. I mean, we had people all over the internet that were talking about this game leading up to it on Christmas Eve. Trevor Plouffe, famed Twins player, led the league in double plays one year. Was trying to get people to vote on one way or the other. And I just reached out to him because he's a good friend of mine. I said, Trev,
Yeah, good friend of the
you
pod.
got to take Hawaii money line, and he did do it. And it goes to show you got to do your research. You got to know who's ready to play, who comes ready to play. It's you throw numbers out the window when you get these players on the field. And I think outside of that, just so we can speed things along, I was most surprised by this Falcons at Chiefs game. I mean, wow.
Oh my
The
goodness.
fact that they're sitting Pat Mahomes this week because of how bad he played against this Falcons defense, I don't think there's a way for the Falcons to still get in the playoffs. But boy, that's good news for Chiefs fans all over the country. I'll tell you that because what a barn burner that was. I felt like I was watching Wisconsin, Indiana all over again.
That was a very, very bizarre game. I mean, both of us were just. I mean, these are two high-level offenses, and it kind of felt the same as the Packers Titans, where it's like too good to be true. The numbers make too much sense with what the offenses can do, and clearly that was the case because, boy.
Yeah. Well, let's jump into it then. Like you said, you've got a commanding lead. I'm just trying to swing for the fences here and have one hell of a week. And I'll go ahead and start it off this week. This game's already kicked off. We got West Virginia at Army, and this is the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. I went ahead and took this at Army plus 9.5 with -105 odds. Look, it's a 9-2 Army team that runs the triple option against West Virginia at 5-4. It's unpatriotic for them to try to beat Army, especially with everything going on this year. Especially since Army was snubbed from getting a bowl, where a team like USC in that South Carolina, I just want to make sure that's clear, was able to go to a bowl game before they opted out. This just makes all the sense in the world. This is my Army team. Right now we're sitting here at halftime, and it's 14-10 Army, and I feel really good about this one. Really good about this one.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, obviously we know what we know now. You did text me before the game, and so you did, lock the pick in. But yeah, I agree with you. Army looks great. They had interception to start the game off. Looks good. I'm going to again. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm gonna live and die with these Cincinnati Bearcats, and they are I've said it once and I'll say it again. They're a top 5 NFL defense. Georgia also pretty good defense. I think between the two of these, it's going to be under. Neither offense I'm entirely sold on. And I think both teams are just going to, on 3rd and 5, instead of try to gamble and, try to pick up a first down, or like 3rd and 7, whatever. They'll just feel comfortable, punt the ball over, keep winning the field position game, let their defense do the thing, and kind of get a little bit of that Wisconsin-Indiana feel to it, Like just a nice, easy under. I hate picking unders, by the way, and it's going to be a trend. I'm going to foreshadow it. I have a lot of unders, but oh my goodness. Is there anything worse than picking the under? Because you're cheering against every score. You're cheering against every positive play. Because that gets you.
Yeah. There's a certain brand of football that you want to cheer for the under, and really that's just Big Ten football because you expect it.
Right.
And you go there to watch offensive linemen just protect all day.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about this one, just because it's weird to me that the odds are minus 115 on under, especially with how good Georgia's offense has been, and really I think they don't have that many players that are sitting out this game. And I think for them this is a springboard, kind of like Oklahoma last night, into 2021 to get their team on board, get JT a couple extra reps. Really get things clicking, because Georgia starts the year off next year against Clemson, which is going to be a huge game. So I think they're going to take this seriously for once, which they normally don't do when they don't make the playoffs. And I think they're going to try to run up the score. But Cincinnati does have a good defense, and it's not something that I think they'll play up to Georgia. I just taking the under on this one. I feel weird about it, but I don't feel good about taking anything on this game. I couldn't find a line or a bet that I liked either way. Let's see here. I think for this next one, like I said, I'm trying to go with some big picks this week. This is the last college game that I've got, and I've got this UNC at Texas A&M game. And I'm taking the over on 65.5.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I mean, boy, this at minus 1,010 odds. I mean, I'm telling you, Vegas feels really good about this. I think this is just going to be a really fun, high-scoring game. UNC doesn't really have a great defense, and neither does Texas A&M. We've seen both of these teams let up a ton of points to lesser teams, but both of them have really damn good offenses. And I think this is just going to be a fun one.
Yeah, I mean, UNC offense is led by their running game, which has kind of just swept Sam Howell under the rug. And he's
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he's honestly probably the second best ACC quarterback. Would you say?
Oh, absolutely.
Is that fair? Yeah. And then Texas A&M. I mean, Jimbo in a bowl game is always going to be great. This team is, pissed off that they didn't make it. Not that I even think that they deserve to make it, but I like it. 65 is a lot for college, but again, I mean, this will be a competitive game all the way through. Both teams are, gonna keep their foot on the pedal.
Now, as we transition over to you, I'm glad you brought that up. That Texas A&M didn't really deserve to be in the playoffs. I think some people thought they were a shoe-in, but boy, I think they'll show a better showing than the University of Florida Gators did last night against Oklahoma, because boy, do they look like frauds, and I am so glad that they lost in the way that they did. But apparently that wasn't the same team, which is good news for next year. Florida should look just as good as they did against
Yeah, I mean, making excuses already is just a bad look. They didn't have Pitts, I get it. But you don't get beat like that and blame it on just having a few guys sit out.
Yeah.
That's soft. Maybe honestly, if you lost by like one possession, I would be okay. Dan Mullen, like, sure, I'll give it to you, but no.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
All right. So I've got my pick, and here's where I'm going to try to make up a little bit of money here. It's Cardinals at Rams. So I'm going with a NFL home team. This Rams team is still
But are they
playing.
a home team?
Well, is anybody home?
No, aren't the Rams playing in Arizona?
That's the 49ers. Unless it's also the Rams.
You keep talking about this one. I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah. So really, what I have here is just. I mean, we know that the Cardinals need a win. They're 8-7, but the Rams are 9-6. Um, I think this is going to be a game where the Rams defense can do enough to shut down the Cardinals offense. The Cardinals offense very good, but I just think the Rams offense is pretty well above their defense, and I think that the Rams defense is also pretty well above the Cardinals offense. The spread was not much. I want to say it was like 4.5. But go ahead and give me the money line. Let's put a little. Let's put a few bones on it, and let's try to get this all the way up to a little 22 pot.
Well, that's going to be one hell of a miracle. I'm seeing here as I look it up. You're correct. The Rams are still playing in their own stadium. This is the CBS game of the week. Tell me, what do you know about John Wolford, Rams starting quarterback?
I know nothing about him.
Well, according to the LA Times, he hopes to delete his LinkedIn page very soon, as he now is the starter for the Rams with Goff breaking his thumb, I think.
Yeah, he had some like tendon issue. I'm not even worried. Is Goff even that good? Goff's a system quarterback. He's a system quarterback.
You're right. You plug and play John Wolford in here, and you can kiss that LinkedIn goodbye because it's as good as a lock.
It's good as gone.
Good as gone. Well, let's see here. I'm glad that he's out of the NFC South. I'm taking this Washington at Philly game, and I got Washington -2 because Ron Rivera is. I mean, he's the gambler. He's Riverboat Ron.
He is Riverboat Ron.
To sit here and dismiss Dwayne Haskins from the team with a quarterback that has one leg and some nobody that hasn't played all that well. This is a win in their end situation for the playoffs. And I think Ron's putting a lot of on his record here by doing that before the end of the season. But Philly sucks. I think the Washington defense is good enough to keep getting past Philly's pretty awful offensive line. And this just feels more to me like a feel-good story of anything. I got Washington -2 at Philly.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. The Phillies team has been different. The Philly Eagles have been different since Jalen Hurts took over. And, is it finally time when defenses can catch up? I mean, the film's been out for 3 weeks now, maybe even 4. I want to say it's probably 3. Yeah, I like it. If I had to go one way or the other, I'd feel much more comfortable going with the football team than kind of gambling it.
Yeah.
On the Eagles. Now I've got on mine. I've got Packers Bears over 51, but I think I want to change this and just give me the Packers spread. So it's -5.5 at 110. I was just pulling it up. So I'm going to take Packers -5.5. I think.
Before you get into it too much, I'm sorry to interrupt because I'm pissed you took this game. Can I interest you in an alternate line here?
I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear it. Yes.
Packers -7 at +120 odds.
Let's do it. -7, 120. Let's go. I like it. Look, I mean, this number would be so much bigger if it was week 11. It's week 17. If the Packers go up, it's going to be, I don't even know who the Packers backup quarterback is, and to be honest, I don't care.
Who did they draft?
Well, no, he's not even going to play. But look, the Packers are still fighting for this number 1 playoff seed. They have not clinched it yet. And I think that it's going to be guns blazing. It's going to be the same thing as the Bucs last week when they were winning in. And you look at what they did to the Lions. I really don't see this Bears team, even though it's a rivalry, making it anywhere near competitive. I mean, it's the Bears. The Bears.
And they've won their last couple of games. I mean, that's fine and all, but I'm with you. I think this Green Bay team is just too good. They're trying to make a statement. They're trying to get that number 1 seed. And yeah, the Bears are playing, I mean, for Matt Nagy's job, for Mitch Trubisky if he's going to get signed again. It's a dumpster fire. And when the Bears suck, they suck. And I think the Packers right now look to be the best team in the NFC by a pretty decent margin in my mind. So I'm with you here. I like this pick, especially since I was going to make it myself, and I'm locking it in right here to make sure I get it. But I'm pissed you took it. I like it. Switching back over, I'm saving the tastiest pick of the week until the end. It's going to be my last pick. So I got to go with something here that I feel good about. And boy, I got to go with this. No, I'm not doing it. I'm going with Jets at Patriots.
Ooh.
It's two of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. Hottest team. I got Jets money line.
The Jets are the hottest team in the NFL.
And that's not play on words just because, they're Jets, and Jets are really hot, especially the engines. Vroom.
I'm also noticing a trend with your picks. Army, Patriots. It's not 4th of July. It's New Year's.
God bless America. Well, you can't tell me differently. I mean, the Liberty Bells in Philly, I love everything about this. You got this red, white, and blue up here at UNC ATM. I got Jets money line. Patriots are done. They looked horrible. I think they're able to still get in the top 10 as far as picks concerned if they lose here. I wouldn't put it past Belichick to put a game plan in place that at least makes them look okay, but they still lose. They want that pick. He needs a quarterback. As much as it pains him to lose to the Jets, I see this as you have a bad season, you draft a quarterback, you get right back on the horse next year, and I think that's what they're going to do here. Jets can't do enough to lose here.
Yeah, the Patriots are definitely just done with the season. I mean, that one little video clip of Belichick on the headset and Cam Newton sitting right in front of him, and he slams the phone into the case. That just, to me, describes how that team is right now. Just a mess. Nobody's happy with each other. Nobody trusts each other. And it's the Cam Newton effect. I mean, let's be honest. Cam Newton's not the best teammate. I could see it, and I like it at the odds. I'm going with my third positive odd here. It's going to be the Oregon Ducks versus Iowa State Cyclones. And I'm going with Oregon money line. I like this Oregon team. I like their defense, and I think this Oregon defense is going to be able to do enough to disrupt Iowa State. I know Purdy's their quarterback. They also have a really good running back. But their defense is not great, and I think Oregon's got a pretty good offense as well. So don't need the spread. Let's go for the plus 170 odds. Let's lock it in. I mean, if anything, to me, this is a coin flip game, and I'll take a coin flip at plus 170.
I really wish I am going to have to open up a new spreadsheet for next year and make sure that it's hidden and not accessible to the public, because I need you to get off of my picks page. I had that one too. I liked it. I didn't like it enough to be the tastiest pick of the week, but I like that too. I mean, especially with is it Chris Paul just getting a contract extension? He's been recruiting well.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, it's Iowa State's a good story. I'd love for Purdy to do well, but I'm with you here. I think Oregon outright. The only thing that has me hesitant against it is Oregon might have some players that sit out, and Iowa State's going for the best season that they've ever had.
Right.
In history.
Right.
But I don't know if that's enough.
Yeah, and again, I mean, do I feel 100% confident that Oregon's going to win? No. But I think it's much closer than 170 odds, and I feel like flipping a coin and almost doubling between 1.5 and 2 times your money is well worth it.
Yeah, no, I like that a good bit. I'll be interested to see how much money you put on that one. Well, let's shift it over here, and Look, it's been fun, even if I'm not going to win it this year, even if I'm not going to hit 100. I've been killing it on these tastiest picks of the week. I mean, if you had to set them all out on a table, you'd have a spread.
Oh my! I mean, all you could eat buffet.
Just a Christmas dinner with family combined with Thanksgiving. It'd be like taking both of those. And you know what? When COVID's over, you should do that with your family. Combine Christmas and Thanksgiving. Have just one huge mega feast based on all the tasty picks that you got. And boy,
Oh my goodness!
cooked up something for you
Oh my!
last one of the year.
He's
This is
cooking.
the chef's specialty. This is it. This is the tastiest pick of the week, the tastiest pick of the year. Last week, I gave the Hawaii one. It was beautiful for Buena Noche or Christmas Eve or whatever you call it. This one, Falcons and Bucks. I got Falcons money line.
Wow.
Plus
265.
Look, I gave this scenario probably about 6 or 7 weeks ago. That I was wrong about the Bucks and the Falcons continued to tank, and it was going to come down to this last week of the season. And this Falcons Bucks game was going to be the difference in the Bucks having a pretty decent seed, and the Falcons getting a top 4 or 5 pick. And lo and behold, here we are with the Falcons at the number 4 spot. A win here would probably put them at the end of the top 10. Probably somewhere in the 10 to 15 range, which is exactly where we don't need to be.
Right.
Exactly where they're going to end up if the Falcons can't do anything right, as we've seen for the last 3 or 4 years. The Falcons are going to Falcons the best way they know how. They almost beat the best team in football. They were
I mean, if Arthur Blank didn't himself call in and say, Young Wei Koo, missed this, you foo. Yeah.
Team captain, Captain Koo. This is it. This is the tastiest pick of the year.
I mean, it doesn't get tastier than that, and 'tis the season for a nice, plump, juicy pick, and this is it. This is it.
Yeah. Falcons going to Falcons. And what do you got here for your last one? Looks like we got a playoff game.
Yeah, so I wanted to get a little bit of action in this playoff game, and although I do think Alabama is going to completely handle Notre Dame, I didn't want to touch 20 points because that's a ton. I mean, Notre Dame could score 10 at the very end, kick a field goal, whatever. And I just wasn't comfortable with it. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Clemson is looking like, at least in the past few weeks, they definitely deserve to be in the championship game. It's going to be playing against Alabama. An Ohio State team at 7.5 points is nowhere near, in my opinion, what this game's going to end on. Trevor Lawrence is going to come out bawling, and I think Clemson's going to rally around that.
B-A-L-L or B-A-W-L?
I think both.
Okay.
I think both. And I mean, I'm giving up a full touchdown and a half point, but I'm getting a minus 105 odds. So, not the worst.
I like this pick. I have a weird feeling that Ohio State, of the 2 matchups, that Ohio State has the best chance to
upset. Oh yeah.
Especially with Clemson's offensive coordinator not being able to be at the game. I don't know. There's some weirdness going on to it, and nothing would please me more than having Dabo be really upset after this game. But I like it. I like it with the odds, especially minus 105.
Yeah,
kind of surprises me. And I think you're going to be right. I think we're going to see another Alabama-Clemson national championship.
I mean, these teams they're leaps and bounds above everybody else. Nothing against Ohio State, nothing against Notre Dame, but these are the best 2 teams. I mean, we could honestly just skip the semifinals.
This is the one year that the BCS would have gotten it right. So, all right, well, we got our picks here. Do you want to go ahead and start us off?
Yeah, I'll go first. I'll go through all 5 of mine, just like we've been doing. Let's start off with 2 on. Oops, not that. Clicked on the wrong cell. Go ahead and give me 2 on the first one. And now we're going to get into this meat and potatoes pick. Let me go all the way down to the bottom just for Clemson. Let me have 2 on them as well. So that leaves me $6 between these 3, so now I can really look at how I want to do things. Let's do a max bet here. $3 on the Rams to win. Let's just split it. Let's just split it $1.50 each, and we'll just, you know what? And let me subtract here $1.50 on my top.
Boy.
You kind of talked me out of that under. I'm not gonna lie. You kind of talked me out of that under. And we'll go with we're gonna swing for the fences. We're gonna go $2 on Oregon money line.
All right.
See what we can do. While you're doing your picks, I'll put them in on a bet calculator and just make sure that we've got it all right.
Here. And I did the first one for you, that Rams money line one, but I'll
Perfect.
swing over to mine and take a look at here. I didn't give you a dollar amount on this West Virginia at Army game. That's my bad. I'll go with the default 2 on that one, though I would have liked to have done more. But hey, it's all right. It's the season to give. Boy, $2 there means I got 8 left. Really good at the numbers here. I'm going to put another 2 here on Washington, Philly. I'm going to put 1 here on Jets, Patriots. Put 1 here. I guess tell you what. Yeah, I'm going to do 1 here. And if it'll be allowed, I'm going to put a full $4 on this tasty pick.
Yeah, lock it in. Lock it in.
If I'm looking here, 265 odds. If I'm betting here, $4, and that's a payout of $14.60. For the fences right here.
And then that leaves you with how much for that Jets money line? Oh, $1. Yeah. So that'd be what? It'd be 240.
40.
Yeah. So yeah, 26
here.
So let's go ahead. Let's actually say mathematically you are not eliminated because 26 would put you at
If you lost every
84. Yeah, it would put you at 84.
Yeah.
So you are not mathematically eliminated. Obviously, you need to have 100%. I need to have 0%. I think even if I get 1, yeah, that would put me over 84. I'm looking at 23, which is high for what we normally have. I'm just making sure that the math there is correct and it looks right. So, yeah, I mean, some big totals that we're both looking at the last week. We're trying to get you guys, the viewers, at least let's see if we can go for, what do you say, like $140 between the 2 of us?
Yeah,
Positive?
nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I think that'd be really impressive. I mean, obviously, we've had great seasons, both of us. Neither one of us are anywhere near negative. We're always making money.
Well, as long as we both go positive this week, we'll hit that 140 mark. We're sitting at 140.94 right now.
Okay, so let's go 150. Let's go 150. Let's go 150.
And
I love it.
It wouldn't be $3 parlay without talking about our $3 parlay. What do you got here for yours?
So I didn't have any real gadgets. I kind of got hung up on that one last week and just wasn't really having a ton of fun. But I will just keep a theme of kind of grouping things together, going the same as last week where I had 2 players scoring in the same game. Go ahead and give me both college football playoffs. So I'm going to go Notre Dame, Alabama, under 65, which honestly I really don't hear. I'll paste it in because I have. It's minus 105, and then I'm just going to do the same. Ohio State, Clemson. Give me Clemson minus 7, and I'll paste it in as well. At 105. I just think it'd be fun to be able to parlay both of the college football games, and both at minus 105. I think is pretty neat. That should give a pretty good payout. What are your thoughts? Because I really didn't know where I wanted to go on this game. I didn't like Alabama minus 20, but I also didn't feel comfortable with Notre Dame plus 20. Over, under, I mean, Alabama's been scoring lights out, but Notre Dame, I think, does match up with them. better than most of the teams that they've played, even better than Florida last week.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't expect Notre Dame to score more than 20, right? I mean, 20 is their ceiling. And Alabama, can they get 45 and Notre Dame get 20? I don't see it. I could see Alabama scoring 50 and Notre Dame 0, something crazy like that. But the 65, the more I tried to break it down, it felt harder to get over 65 and a half than find ways that it goes under.
I could talk myself into it either way. I mean, some galaxy brain level shit. Let's say Notre Dame didn't go out and use the playbook that they really would have if it was a lose or go home or win or go home type of situation. I think they knew they were in no matter what they did against Clemson. And
but they could only score. I don't know.
They didn't score many, and that's my only argument that I can make about them putting up points. Otherwise, Alabama's had a really good offense this year, and they could keep it close. But I'm with you. If I had to put some money on it, I would go under at 65.5 too, just because it's a high number. It's a playoff game.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be ready for it.
Yeah, and again, I mean, nothing against Alabama. They can always score. Notre Dame has been struggling to score, as we saw with the Clemson game, but they're still a potent offense, and I don't know. I trust the defenses much more on both sides.
So I got the Jags at the Colts, and Jags plus 14. I think Colts are going to win this one pretty easily. They've got to win to make the playoffs. But now that the Jags have locked up the number 1 pick, I think they're going to be a little motivated to actually play, and I think they're going to try to put a good game plan together. I mean, what better way to end the year than keeping it close against your division rival? And look, if I've said it one time, I've said it many, many, many times. This is an AFC South podcast. I got Tennessee at Houston, and I'm taking the over 56 right here at minus 110. J.J. Watt fired up his team after that loss last week. I mean, got to give it to him. A guy who has played his heart out every single year and has played all 16 games every year, to sit there and just shit all over his team for not coming out. I mean, how dare him? The first time that he actually makes it through 16 games.
Right, yeah.
His team. These are two just really big offenses. Houston's not really playing for a pick, since it's Miami's pick anyways. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I mean, I think Tennessee's going to have to get their offense going, since they couldn't do anything against Green Bay last week. So sticking AFC South this week.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, I mean, clearly you're looking at AFC South offenses. Okay.
Which is what it's known for. I mean, nothing.
Yeah. I mean,
in the AFC South,
right?
Juggernauts of offenses.
So both of yours will be done on Sunday. Mine will be on Saturday.
Yeah.
Which kind of scares me a little bit.
And then Monday, it'll all be done.
Yeah.
I mean, no Sunday night, but it's been a hell of a year. I'm excited to see how this last week comes about. But we had a couple of misses here or there, but glad to be here at the end. We actually finished it this time.
We did it, and we did it impressively. I mean, 82 and 58 is nothing to shake your finger at, especially kind of when we handicap ourselves a little bit by not being able to pick every game that we want if we have any overlap. So, yeah, I mean, I think we both did great. Definitely keep track of the scoreboard, and might have a little something moving forward for NFL playoffs.
Oh, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that for sure. But signing off for the last time for the regular season. Let's see how it plays out. You know, fingers crossed, weird things have happened. Michael could miss them all, and I could just hit big. So we'll see. But it's been a hell of a ride. And from Atlanta, Georgia, and Paris, France, we'll see you guys next week.